Okay, hello. If you are with me, just say something. So I know that you are with me. We're getting started. We're not waiting for anyone, right? So people who people who come on board will get started with us. People who don't, well, uh, it's a lot. So let me know if you are with me. Let's know if you are with me. So we'll get started right away. We are not waiting for anyone. Okay? We're not waiting for anyone at all. So let's get started. Okay. Please, if you're with me, let me know. If you can see my screen, let me know. I need to know I'm not alone. Please drop something in the chat box. Let me know if you are with me. If you can hear me, let me know as well. Drop something in the chat box so I know you are with me and that you can hear me. Right? You could even say something. Just let me know you are with me. I can't hear anything. No. I can see David Ode. I can see Fola Shade, but I can't see or hear anything. Okay. I can see the chat now. Okay, says I. Awesome. Please, if you can hear me, just say I can hear you. Just say I can hear you. You either drop that in the chat or just say it out loud. Either way, it's fine. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so great. So we're going to start with email marketing. Now we're going to take this one after the other, We're going to take them bit by bit because it's 5 days. So we're going to take it in such a manner in which you would get to understand it, right? So we may spend 30 minutes on one slide. It's fine. But the idea is to get a good grasp of it so that you will not rush, right? Okay. So look at this place where I wrote send folks. I wrote adverts, pre-sale page, opt-in page, email. I also wrote adverts, opt-in page, email marketing. Right now, adverts. If you have been in one of our previous classes we've done months ago, you will realize that we did a lot of stuff on adverts, right? We talked about Facebook ads. We did everything live. We talked about YouTube ads. We did it live. We talked about Google ads. We did it live. We talked about what other kind of ads? Talk about Instagram ad. We did it live. We talked about LinkedIn ads. We did it live. So that's where adverts come from, right? We also talked about copywriting. We talked about market research. We talked about how to know what your customer is thinking, what's right in their head, what's disturbing them in their head, so that you will know exactly how to talk to them, how to write your message, right? So that's advanced part, right? Do we get what I just said now? If you get what I just said now, just let me know, because this class is going to be very interactive. So let me know if you got what I just said now, right? I'll talk about adverts. So if you got to just say yes, right? If you didn't get it, say no, and I will explain again, right? Okay, awesome. So now that's the adverts. Once you do your adverts comes to a pre-sale page, right? After it gets to a pre-sale page, you can now create an opt-in page. And after an opt-in page, you start email marketing, right? So the advert gets to a pre-sale page, and after the pre-sale page, it gets to an opt-in page. And after the opt-in page, it starts email marketing. Okay, Benjamin is just joining us, so that's why he said no. So I'll just go over it again. It's not in my manner to go over things again, after we've gone way beyond it. But let me just explain. Advert is when you run an advert on Facebook, you run an advert on Instagram, you run an advert on Google, you run an advert on YouTube. Those are online adverts. And in our previous classes, we talked about how to run adverts on those platforms. So if you have not been in any of those previous classes, check the PNG group. You'll see those classes there, right? You see those classes. The reason we are treating email marketing today is because, you see, one of the easiest things is to sell to people who already know you, who already bought something from you, right? And then if people hear from you consistently, they are more likely to buy from you than somebody they don't hear from. So that's why we're doing email marketing. Okay, we could have done WhatsApp marketing, but WhatsApp keeps changing. If you see the new updates of WhatsApp now, you realize that with the new updates of WhatsApp, it's different. and then your status, your WhatsApp status cannot be easily viewed by many people anymore. So email marketing has been around for ages, right? So that's why we're doing email marketing. Now, if you've not been in previous classes, that's why I said just go to the PNG group, the Facebook group. You see the classes uploaded there. You can just, go there and enjoy those classes. So after you've done the adverts, you go to the pre-sale page. Now, a pre-sale page is basically a place where you condition the mind of the buyer into making the purchase, right? That's what a pre-sale page is. I wrote something about a pre-sale earlier on. If I find it, I'll basically just tell it to us. But basically, that's what a pre-sale page is more like, right? It's basically a place where you basically condition the mind of the customer to make a purchase, okay? So I'll look up, I'm seeing a question here, right? Let me see, is it a question? Just give me a minute to go check it out. Okay, you can ask in the WhatsApp group. You get the link to the Facebook group there. Now, pre-sale pages, like I said earlier on, is a place where you basically write some few things to shape the thought process of a prospect or to shape the mind of the customer, right? And you are shaping the mind of the customer about a certain topic. So in this case, it's real estate. So you are shaping the mind of the customer about real estate, okay? You are basically doing this by determining, one, the pain points of the customer, two, the pain point of the customer, three, the pain point of the customer, four, the pain point of the customer, five, the pain point of the customer. You are basically telling the customer that you have this problem, right? And we are talking about it. So that's what the pre-sale page does, okay? So if you have been in our previous classes, you basically have understood what pre-sale means, right? And if you don't, you can just go into the group. But at the end of these 5 days, on the 5th day, I'm going to do something on the pre-sale. So if you are around to the 5th day, you get a slice of that. So you get to know a few things about the pre-sale in case you have forgotten or you were not in any of our previous classes. So that's what a pre-sale page is. And an opt-in page is pretty simple, right? An opt-in page is pretty simple. So let's just go and let me just show you what an opt-in page looks like, okay? An opt-in page is simple. So we'll go here and then I just show you a sample. Right? Can you see my Chrome? Right? Can you see these ones here? Can you see something like this? Something like this, right? That's an opt-in page. People just ask you to put your email address, right? That's an opt-in page. Okay? This is an opt-in page. You see it there? It's an opt-in page. So we just ask you to put your email address or sometimes your name and your email address, okay? So that's an opt-in page. That's how you create an opt-in page. So there are quite a number of opt-in pages here. For instance, so this is an opt-in page too. You see, it asks you to put your name and an email address. That's an opt-in page. So first you go to the advert. From the advert, you direct people to a pre-sale. And from the pre-sale, you direct people to an opt-in page. So once they put in their email addresses on an opt-in page, then they can actually start receiving your emails, okay? They can start receiving your emails. Now, that's that for the pre-sale opt-in page and email marketing for them. Now, if you go through this process, it's called a funnel, right? Adverts, pre-sale page, opt-in page, and email marketing. It's called a funnel. Now, this is also called a funnel. So you can do either of this. You can do this one, which is adverts, pre-sale, opt-in page, and email marketing. Or you can do adverts, opt-in page, and email marketing, right? You can do any of those ones. Now, because we are talking about email marketing here, we are not going to major on adverts because we've done that before. We are not going to major on pre-sale because we've done that before. But we're going to look at how to create an opt-in page and then also dive into email marketing. Okay. Now, I said that there are two methods. You can do this one, which is adverts, pre-sale page, opt-in page, and email marketing. Or you can do this one, just adverts, opt-in page, and email marketing straight up, right? Now, if you are doing this second one, it means that you have been able to tease them very well. You have been able to tease them very, very well in your adverts. So they are enticed to put their email address and their name, okay? And that's it. So they get into it. Now, if who didn't understand what I've just explained now, if you didn't understand what I just explained now, let me know. If you don't understand what I just explained now, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. If you don't understand what I just explained now, please let me know. Please. I need to be sure that you understood. Okay, so awesome. So everybody understood, right? So awesome. So let's look at how you can now begin to send emails out, or how you can begin to create opt-in pages. Now, look at what I Googled, email service provider. The reason I Googled is because I don't want you to think I just have some affiliation with some email marketing companies. I decided to tell you about those ones alone, right? There are email marketing companies, they call them email service providers, ESPs. Earlier on, you saw that I wrote ESP, right? I was just lazy. I just wanted to write ESP so we can bring it out. But I didn't bring it out, so I just typed it in full, email service provider. So you can see them here, right? You can see them here. There's MailChimp, there's Namecheap, there's GoDaddy, there's Blues. Now, all of these guys, I don't know why Namecheap and then GoDaddy and Blues are here, because basically they are just hosting companies. But I see what they are doing. It's the advert that's making them appear. So basically, let me just go this way. Let me just go this way. List of top 20 email service providers. Okay. So let's just go there. Okay. Let's see if this one will give us a list. I'm trying to, there's MailChimp, there's Aweber, there's ConvertKit, there's Sendly, there's SendFox, there's a lot of them. But I just want you to see them for yourselves, right? Okay. So there's Gmail, right? Gmail has an integration called Gmass. With Gmass, you can send loads of emails out, right? You see, this is an opt-in, right? You see, it's an opt-in. They're asking me to opt-in to get a free guide. So this is an opt-in. If I put my name and email address, I download the book for free and then I opt-in, okay? And I'm not going to opt-in, so I've clicked this one out. You should. But I don't know. No, I don't know why it's still taking so long. But there's Constant Contact, there's Aweber, there's Breville, there's HubSpot, there's SMTP. Those ones we use together with SendFox, or rather with Sendly and the likes. There's Campaigner, there's there's Gmass, which you use together with Gmail. There's Proton Mail, and all of them, right? So let me go out and pick another one, because I don't understand why this one is hanging here. Okay. You can see there's Mail Munch, okay? And I don't know these other ones. But let me go and Google more. Okay, so I want to Google more and show you more. Okay. There's also BetSend. There's a lot of them though, but I just want you to see these things yourself. Okay, so Freshworks CRM, HubSpot Marketing, Constant Contact, Marupost, Visitor, Omnisend, Wix Shoutout, Marketo, Active Campaign, iContact Pro, Robly, Ima, Zoho Campaigns, Retainly, Sendinblue, UpCrunch, Aweber, MailChimp, Salesforce Marketing Cloud, MailJet, and a lot of them, right? Now, many of the ones I use or I know are not even listed there. There's BetSend, right? That I know. There's Sendy, right? That I know. There's ConvertKit, right? That I know, right? And which other one? There's a whole lot of them. So you get the idea. You get the idea of what I'm trying to say, that there's a whole lot of them. There's a whole plethora of them that you can basically use. And what you just need to do is sign up and start using it, right? Creating an opt-in page. If you can, let me let me make this crystal clear. Crystal clear. If you can use an Android phone, you can create an opt-in page. Are we together? If we are together, let me know. If you can use an Android phone, you can create an opt-in page. Okay? Are we together? If we are together, say yes. Let me know. Just let me know. Say yes. Right? If we are together, say yes. Hmm? Awesome. Awesome. So now, if you are even a secondary school person and you can use an Android phone, you can create an opt-in page, okay? But we're going to get to it. I'm going to show you a bit of a demonstration on it. But I just needed to create a proper foundation so that we will understand that this is not something hard, okay? So now, I've abandoned email marketing for real estate for a while. Now I just thought let's do this again so that I can show people, stuff, right? So I just went to a list of about 65 people whom I used to email a lot back then. I had a list that's more than that, but my system crashed, so I just got a list of about 65, 63 people, right? So yes, 63 people. I had to start emailing them about a week now. Okay. Now, if you get an open rate of 20%, very, very good. Very, very good. Now, why do I say that? There's a principle that says that 20% of the people will get 80% of the money, right? 20% of the people will always get the 80% of the returns. So if you look at a country like Nigeria, for instance, or even any country, any economy, it's the 20% of the people who have 80% of the money in the economy, right? So the remaining 20% of the money is shared by 80% of the people, right? So 20% of the people have 80% of the money in the economy. And the remaining 20% of the money is shared by the 80% of the people who are still in the economy. So it's an 80-20 principle. Now, if you have an email list, expect an 80-20 principle because really that's the good principle. So even if your email list is 20,000 people or 10 people, right? You will always get something like this. It's not remotely possible that everybody in your email list will open your email. It's not even possible, right? So there's this guy is a veteran, right? He's a veteran. If you know Justin Goff, he's a veteran email marketer. He's a veteran copywriter, rather. So he's good at email marketing, exceptionally good. He has 12,000 people on his list. And guess what? The people who buy the stuff he has to sell are about 350 something people. And that's about 6% of the people on the list. So that's how email marketing works. Now, some people say, but WhatsApp marketing is closed and all that. Well, you don't own WhatsApp because in the end, WhatsApp might decide to ban you someday. You may just do something and they decide to ban you. You may not do anything and decide to ban you, right? But even if you use it for marketing and you have lots of people coming in, they just decide to ban you and they'll ban you. And once they ban you, you lose the contacts. Even if you have 50,000 people on your email or your WhatsApp, you lose the contact straight away. And what does that mean? It means that for that period, there's probably no food for you, right? So, but if you have 20,000 people, 50,000 people, 100 people, 10 people on your email list, if this email marketing company says they don't want you anymore, they will just tell you to download your email list. You download your email list and you go, right? So if you have 1 million people on your email list, they say they don't want you anymore, that you flouted their rule. They will ask you to download your email list so that you can download your 1 million people and take them somewhere else, right? So there's no email company that will ban you and not let you download your list. It's not possible. So that's where email marketing wins. Now, email marketing is really, really old. It's as old as sending letters, right? Now, do people read emails? Well, you can see the email marketing here. Now, this is my own tool that I've used in recent times. So you can see 16%, 30%, 30%, 31%, 13%, 11%, 29%, 29%, 30%. So imagine you have 5,000 people in your email list and 30% of them open it. That's like 1,500 people opening your emails, right? So that means that 1,500 people are speaking to you every day. They are speaking to them every day. Now, if you speak to them every day, that means they know you, right? So a time will come, they will start opening an email just because it is from you, not because of the title of the email. But before you get there, you need to know how to send emails properly. So when these people have come to know you, they've come to genuinely like you, when you have something to sell and 20 other people have that same thing to sell, they will give you priority because they've come to know you, because they've come to like you, and because they've come to trust you. Okay, so they will give you priority. Now, before I get into all the nitty-gritty about email marketing, I said that an opt-in form is easy to create and that you can do it yourself, right? You can do it yourself because as long as you can operate an Android phone, you can open an email opt-in form. You can create an email opt-in form. It's very simple. Now, the reason I said that is not because I don't want to demonstrate it, it's because apart from SendFox here, there are over 1 million other email marketing platforms, right? If I Google again, if I say top 50 email marketing apps, right? If I Google that, you will see what's going to happen, right? I'm just going to show you what's going to happen. So you can see here, top 50. So emailmastery.org is giving me top 50, right? Earlier I saw top 20 here. You see for top 50 here. So you can see them. You can see them. Some of them you did not even see in the list, in that other list before. So you can see them. So you realize that the truth really is that there are loads and loads of them. Loads and loads of them. So you can't exactly say that, okay, the way I created an opt-in form in SendFox here is the way you will create an opt-in form in all the other 50, right? It's not the same way. So let it be crystal clear to you that this opt-in form is something you can do as long as you can press an Android phone. It is as easy as dialoguing with the web app, right? It's a web app, just dialogue with the website. So let's just say websites, simple, right? Dialogue with the website, and then you basically just do what you need to do. So as long as you can operate an Android phone, you can do it. But let's just, for the sake of practical, right? Let's just do it. So you go to sendfox.com. The reason I'm recommending sendfox.com is because your first 1,000, what's it called now? First 1,000 contacts, right? They allow you to send to them for free, but it will be throttling. So let's say you are sending to 63 people, instead of it to go once, it can take like 2 hours to go. So if you are sending to like 300 people, instead of it to go once, it can take, 4 hours to go. You're sending to 700 people, instead of it to go once, it can take like 5 hours to go, right? But what it means for you is that while you are still doing the 1,000 contacts, while you are still expecting people to fill up your list, like this one now, about how many contacts does this one have here? Let me check. This one has 118 contacts. So that means that I still have space for about 800 and something contacts more, right? So the moment 800, it now reaches 1,000, what happens is that they ask you to pay. So you pay like $49 and then you have access to 5,000 and it won't throttle anymore. So go once, right? The emails will be going once, right? So that's how SendFox works. You can also do BedSend, bedsend.co. BedSend is also cheaper, but they only give you, I think 7 days or 14 days trial period. After that, you pay, right? So, but if you don't have money to start with sendfox.com. Okay, so you can see the dashboard. You can always go to sendfox.com and sign up. You can see the dashboard, right? Like I said, it's always 80 to 20% true. So 43 are the active ones. And so imagine if I am doing email marketing on big level, right? I'm doing email marketing proper, like I'm doing it real big, right? What will happen is that I could have like 10,000 contacts. And then if you have 10,000 contacts and just 2%, rather 20% of them, which is like 2,000 thereabouts, are opening it consistently, right? That I'm sure that out of that 2,000, and that 20% will be like 200. Like maybe 200 will be interested in buying, right? Right? And that is good. If I have 200 people who are daily interested in buying from me, one day I'll be able to sell to at least 20 or 10 of them. 200 people interested in buying from me. Conversion percent of about, say, now, sales conversion percent about 1% to 3%. So we are sure to have like, say, 3 people interested in buying real estate from me almost on you know, a regular basis, and that's good, right? So, and if you have more and more people, you have way more people interested in buying. Now, 3% is just me saying 3 people is just being extremely conservative, extremely conservative. So let's go on, right? You have this emails being sent, automations. Now, these automations too will not work on the free account, but this is how you do it. You can upgrade to create an automation. You can do new blank automation, and then you start. Automation means that once a person comes into your email list, there's the first email he gets, right? That's the first email immediately. Then maybe you set it up to 6 hours later, he gets another email. You set it to 1 hour later, you get another email. You set it to 1 day later, you get another email. You set it to 2 days later, you get another email. So you can set it up like that for like 7 days, or for like 20 days, or for like 21 days, or for like 30 days, or even for like longer than 30 days. But obviously, the best for you to do is to set for like 7 days, right? So you set for like 7 days, they get email series for 7 days. So those 7 days email series is like a sequel. It's like when you are watching a soap opera. So the first email is a sequel to the second email. The second email is a sequel to the third email. The third email is a sequel to the fourth email. Fourth email is a sequel to the fifth email. Fifth email is a sequel to the sixth email. Sixth email is a sequel to the seventh email. So once the person is finished reading the first email, you are telling him to expect something in second email, which is coming maybe 24 hours later. After reading that one, you're telling him to expect something that is coming in the third email, which is coming in about, say, another 24 hours later. So that way, you're already building a relationship, you're already building a liking, you're already building a rapport, right? So that's how the automations work. So it's very easy to set up. Like I said, very easy. And if I show you this one now, and you go to send Fox or Sendy or Bedsend, the automation is also different. Like the automation interface is also different, right? So you need to just get that. Now, lists. You can upload your list by creating a list. You can create a list and upload it, right? You can just upload name and email address. They are different on different platforms, okay? So you can see import contacts. You can basically import contacts and all that. So let's just go to forms, okay? Now, you can see the form there. You can create a form, right? You can see it. Edit the form. You can see edit form here. So this is where you create a form. This is where you get something like this, right? You name the form. You can name the form anything, right? And then once a person fills a form, if person fills a form on your website or on your web page, right? There's a video on how to build web pages and websites on the PNG group. You can always check that out. I've already done that as well. So let's say the person fills a form. The person fills the name and email address. Once the person clicks submit, right, it redirects the person to another page. Could redirect the person to facebook.com. What? I won't advise you to do that. I just giving you an example. It could redirect the person to your website.com/properties, right? It could redirect your person to any page whatsoever, right? So that's that. You could even redirect the person to your WhatsApp number, 234, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You could redirect the person to this place, right? You could redirect the person to that place. So just make sure that after your person has filled the form, it redirects the person somewhere. Okay, that's it. Then the website on which they are filling the form, right? You put the website here. The name, first name, last name, you put it here, and then you type in what the buttons should say. You should fill it. And then once you are done with that, you click on update form. So it updates the form. Okay. Now, once you update the form, it's going to give you a code, right? You can just get the embed code. You can look at it, click on the get embed code, and then you just copy the code. So once you copy the code, you can basically just put the code on your website. Now, if you have already watched the video on how to create websites and all that, you'll see that I taught you how to create pre-sale pages and all that as well. If you've not watched it, please do watch it. And if you go through and you don't see it, let me know. I can always upload, there. Now, let me show you the page I put that code on. Right, I put that code on a page. So I want to show you that page. Okay. So yeah, this is the page. I just edit with Tribe Architect, right? Tribe Architect is a plugin for WordPress websites. So I put edit with Tribe Architect. Please check. If it's not there, let me know. I think it's there, but if it's not there, let me know. By all means, or upload it. Okay, so I did with Tribe Architect, and you basically just come and edit, and then you just put the code. Okay, so this is a page I put up, right? Just so you see something. Now, this is the page I put up, and then here I just put can you see the code? That same code, right? That same code. Let me paste it again. Paste it again. You see that same code, and I just click on generate form as we generate this form, right? So if I click on generate form, it's to generate the form, and then I just need to edit the form. I just need to edit the form, remove this password thing. Yes, let me in. I can do that. I can say, okay, all right, everything is fine. And then I can come here, edit the button. Just a minute. Edit form elements, and I can come here and edit this button, right? Edit this button, make it full, and then, just keep on, make this one maybe like 40, right? So just design it and make it look peaceful. Once I'm done, I click on done. Let's say I'm done, I click on done. And then once everything is fine, I click on save work, right? And I save it. So that's exactly how it's done. Okay, but realize that I've already uploaded this before, so you can always go check it out. If you don't find it, let me know. I will re-upload it again. I'll upload it. So that's how it's done. Now, before we move forward, do you have any question? Do you have any question? We've already shown the opt-in page. We've already talked about the email marketing. We are now going to talk about the email marketing part rather. But before I go on, do you have any question? Right? Do you have any question? I could do 2 hours classes, 3 hours classes, but I realize that people get bored, and sometimes it's like water through a hose. So it's like water is rushing, through a fire hose into your face. So sometimes you may get overwhelmed and not get anything. So it's going to be a 1 hour class. But before I go on, we have done with half of this class. We are doing the remaining half now. But before I go on to the remaining half, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? I'm waiting for your question. Please shoot. Any question? If you don't have any questions, just say no questions so that I will know that I'm not alone, right? If you don't have any questions, say no questions, so I'll know I'm not alone. Please let me know. Do you have any question? I'm waiting for other. I have. Okay, shoot your question, please. I'll be glad to hear it. Your question. Your question, please. Just write it out or say something or say it. If you have a question, please say it. You said, Mr. Benjamin Ede, you said you have a question. Type it out. If you don't want to type it out, just say it out, or we continue. Okay, so if you lost out on during the opt-in form, I just showed us. Okay, maybe you are just coming in. Galaxy S8 are just coming in, I suppose. What you will do is this. After today's class, which is just an hour, go through everything I have explained in this class. After you've gone through everything I explained in this class and you have questions, and you come tomorrow with those questions, right? But I don't want us to go back because I think you just came in. If you are saying you don't understand anything, probably you just came in. So just go through what this video, and then if you have any questions, because it's just an hour, just go through this video. If you have any question, by all means, write down your question, and then I will answer all those questions in tomorrow's class. Okay, please do yourself a favor and go through everything we have said here today, right? and then by tomorrow, you then when you are going through everything we have said here today, you write down your questions so that tomorrow we'll treat them first before we start. And that means you have to be early tomorrow, because if you are not early, we won't come back and start treating yesterday's question after we've gone through half the class. Okay? All right. So if I don't want to subscribe to the automation, is there a way I can use a free one? Okay, so I said that the automation, you are not subscribing to the automation. The automation is this part, right? The automation is this part. Now, let me be very clear with you. If you are going to make any stride in business, don't look for free things. But if you don't have money to start, you can always, use the free ones. Then when you have money, quickly invest, right? Now, this email marketing tool, sendfox.com, is one of the several emails marketing tools. You can use sendfox.com for free. Just start just with 1,000 contacts. You can use it for free. So the opt-in form allows you to collect contacts. Contacts means email address, right? That's email address. So it could be email address and name. It could be email address, phone number. But major thing that contact means is email address. So once you collect those contacts, then you can start emailing. You can start emailing with SendFox, right? Though it will throttle be on the free plan, but use it. Once you have money, then you buy the pay plan, right? This is about $49. This automation part I was explaining, I don't use it because I'm in the free plan, right? I'm not exactly taking email marketing the way I ought to take it now. But once I start, I'll obviously move away from the free plan. I'm not using it because I'm on the free plan, but guess what? I'm still sending emails. So you can always send emails, whether you're on the free plan or not. Automation is not everything, right? So you may not do automations. It's not everything, right? So that's that. I hope you understand now, okay? I hope you understand now. So let's go to writing emails. Let's go to writing emails. Now, writing emails can be very simple if you pay attention. Now, when you are writing emails, right, you write subject lines first. Okay, look at this. He said it. That's the subject line. He said it. That's the subject line. That's one thing. That's the subject line. The truth about Lagos real estate. That's the subject line. Addressing Jimmy Odukoya's recent appointment as pastor. That's the subject line, right? I don't care about your feelings. That's the subject line. I do not care about your feelings is a subject line, right? You look familiar as a subject line. The only question I can't answer for you is a subject line. I'm back home is a subject line. Lie, I will never do it again is a subject line. Now, those are subject lines. Subject line means the title of the email. Now, let's open this one, okay? Let's open this, he said it. Now, before we go to deal with the email, first, let's get back here. Now, you want to send an email. Now, most times I advise you send email every day. Some people say, why send email every day? People will be tired and everything. Well, look here. I send these emails every day and 30% open rate, 29% open rate, 29% open rate, 11% open rate. And this one is 11% open rate. Yeah, it's even more than many people's own. 13% open rate, 31% open rate, 30% open rate. Can you see it? The open rates are consistent, even 16% open rate. Can you see? So the open rates are consistent. Now, why are they this consistent? You will get to know as we go on. But you can send emails every day. Now, sometimes you say, send emails every day. I don't have ideas now. How will I get an idea of what to send emails about, right? You can get ideas from TV. When you watch TV, you can get ideas from it. If you don't watch TV, let's say you listen to songs, you can get ideas from it. Let's say you watch movies, you can get an idea from it. You can be at an event and something happens, you get an idea from it, write an email about it. You can be at home, something happens, you write an email about it. You can be watching YouTube and then you see a video and you write an email about it. You can be doing tutorials like you are doing right now. Something happens in this tutorial, you write an email about it. You can be watching a comedy on your phone, on TikTok or on YouTube, or one you downloaded, and you can write an email about it. It can be a trend and write an email about it. Okay, now let me show you where all of this came on. He said it, right? It was an event. An event means something that happened, not necessarily a party. An event, right? He said it. I was going to, it was an email I sent this morning. I was looking at what to send, and I took a paper And then I took paper and I wrote some things in this email, in this paper. I said, okay, yeah, I'm going to write an email about writing. Okay, an email about writing. And then I wrote this email. I said, he said it. Okay, now he said it, and I can't believe it. Well, not that I can't, not that I kind of believe it. I actually do believe it. I believe it's a great deal, and it's true, super true. And when I practiced it, it's worked. It really worked. It was Habakkuk who said it. He said, so you see where the title came in. He said it. He said, right? So what was the thing that he said? He said, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may read that he may run that readeth it. Habakkuk 2:1. I got this idea because I look at the paper I wrote something in ages ago, right? So I tried it. I wrote something down and I started reading it to myself morning and night, and I was working at it too. For instance, one of the things I wrote down was that I wanted to learn a new language, and I started repeating it to myself daily. And before long, I saw a video of someone who was developing a new mobile app on teaching a new language without me searching for anything like that on YouTube. Incredible, right? See, let me bust your bubble. It's not the universe that's bringing it to me. No, it's not. It's not universe at all. People say this universe seems to deny God's omnipotence. This contact first name here means the person who is reading this email will see his name, right? Because he has filled his name when he opted in. Femi, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. So trust me, if you write whatever you want to achieve down, put a time frame to it and work hard at it with your mind on it, you will achieve it because your mind sure, because you achieve it, but make sure your mind does not doubt it. Even if it's a new land, can you see how real estate came in there? Can you see how I brought in real estate? Even if it's a new land or a new house you want to buy, just employ this strategy because that's the way God has designed it to work. This is not aspire to perspire, because a man's belly will satisfy by the fruit of his lips, of his mouth, and with the increase of his lips, he shall be lifted. Proverbs 18:20. And I entered the email there. Now, it is not every email you send that you will sell something, right? If people see that every email you sell, you always send something, you always sell something, every email you send, you always sell something. In short, all your emails is about selling something. Of course, you can write emails and send something else. In this email, for instance, now, I could just put it and say that, speaking of increase, one of the best, after this Bible verse now, I could just write something below it and say, speaking of increase, one of the best ways to increase is by leaving an inheritance for your children's children. And there are not too many inheritances to leave for your children's children. One of the best inheritances to leave is real estate, right? So if you are looking at leaving an inheritance, I think you should check this out. And then I put a link to a property there. That's all, right? So you can always sell in your email. Even if I do that in this email, right, and I sell in it, you realize that the main cocoa of the email was to teach them that if you write something down, they will achieve it. And they've learned that in the email. After learning that in the email is when I began to sell, right? So understand that the first thing in your priority in your email is to make sure that the reader does not leave the same way he came. He gains something. He's able to say, I gained something, right? It's not that the person just read the email and say, oh, okay. He's able to gain something, okay? Now, let me also give us, we are not yet talking about the body of the email. We're just talking about the title today, right? But let's just talk about the title again. That's one thing, okay? That's one thing. This was about something I saw online, right? I saw it online, and that's an event as well. I saw somebody posting about something that entrepreneurs should do, and that's why, right? That's one thing. The truth about Lagos real estate, right? Now, this is something. Well, when did this happen? I think let me read this. Let me see what brought about this one. Okay, I can't remember. I think I was just thinking about it. And I wrote this one, right? Addressing Jimmy Odukoya. This is a trend, right? It was a trend at the time. Now, this one, I don't care about your feelings, okay? I don't care about your feelings. I think I thought about this one too as well. I thought about this one as well. Okay, yes, this one was from TV. I was watching Arise News. I saw something about, statistics and all those, and the reporter said that data does not care about your feelings. So it was from TV. I wrote this down. I wrote this email because of something I saw on TV that day. Now, you look familiar. This is something that most men, when they want to ask a lady out, they just say, you look familiar, and they start with that. So that was what I thought. And I wrote this, and the email transcend. I was able to, go into talking about real estate from that. Now, the only question I can't answer for this happened at home. My son asked me a question. He was like, "What is a virgin?" I was like, I was beginning, and then he's just 6 years old. He was like, "How do I answer this question?" So I wrote that in an email, and I explained that a time will come when your kids also grow up. They will ask you what you were doing where it means you were buying real estate. And that's a question I can't be able to answer for you as well. Now, I'm back home. This was a welcome email. Now, imagine I send this to you. Feel, who is this person? Did I ask him to tell me when he's back his home? That kind of thing. So you can always get emails from TV, from songs, from movies, from events, from home, from YouTube, from tutorials, from comedy, from trends. You can always get email ideas from there. Now, before I go on, I want us to, and each of us to tell us what's it called now? Something you got from a TV show, or on something you got on TV, something you got from a song, something you got from a movie, something you got from an event, or something you got from home, something you got from YouTube, something you got from a tutorial, something you got from comedy skits, or something you got from a trend. Now, just anything, maybe a word or 2 words or something you got from any of these things, just write it in the chat, and I will create an email title with it right here now. So write it in the chat. Write it in the chat. I'm waiting for you. Just write it in the chat. Anything you got from an email, write it in the chat. Anything you got from a TV show, a song, a movie, something that happened during the day, write it in the chat. So we'll create an email title with it right now. And then we'll create an email idea with it right now. So write it in the chat. Let's know. I want us to create an email idea with it right now. Well, I'll pick one of them and we'll use it to create an email, right? I'll pick one of them and use it to create an email, but I want us to, I love you to the moon and back. Okay, great. So this could be an email, and I'll say, do you know why I love you? Right? Now, if there's something you've noticed in I love you to the moon and back, the secret is that there's no secret. Okay. Now, the secret is that there's no secret. This is something, I don't know where you got this from, but this is why I'll tell you no, right? This is why I'll tell you no, or why it's no. This is why the answer is no, okay? Right, so the secret is that there's no secret. Why? The answer will always be no, right? Why the answer will always be no. And then the other one, what's the other one again? What's the other one again? I love you to the moon and back. Okay. Why I love you. Or something like that. You won't believe this. You won't believe this. Okay, you won't believe this. Then second one, another one. Do you remember? Awesome. This is a good title already in its own. This is a good title on its own. Do you remember? Right? Now, you can see my screen where I'm writing those things, Abby. Why the answer will always be no. You won't believe this. Do you remember? Okay. Now, first, let's go back here. You see something about these titles. There's an element of curiosity in all these titles. He said it. You've been thinking he said what? That's one thing. Okay. You'll be thinking, okay, what's that one thing? The truth about Lagos real estate. What's the truth about Lagos real estate? Addressing Jimmy Odukoya's recent appointment as pastor. So the curiosity here will be like, okay, do you want to say that he shouldn't be a pastor? Do you want to say he's indecently dressed? Do you want to say he's not worthy? What do you want to say? Right? That's one of the reasons this email probably got low open rates, was because people already thought I would castigate him, right? But that was not what I did. I do not care about your feelings, right? So people are like, okay. Now that doesn't drive too much curiosity. right? But it does drive a little. So the curiosity here will be like, why did he say that? You look familiar. So this one will be like, okay, where I know this guy from? Where I take know me? The only question I can't answer for you, this drives a lot of curiosity. The only question I can't answer for you, I'm back home, okay? Right? Not much curiosity there. But the only measure of curiosity will be like, who is this person that is back home? Right? After, look at this one was 2022. This is 2023. So I sent the last email 2022 and I'm sending 2023. So I'm back home is more like I'm back, right? But if I say I'm back home, if I say I'm back, we'll be like, okay, who are you? We don't care if you're back. If I say I'm back, we'll be like, okay, who went out and just got home? So they really want to know, right? So emails should have some measure of curiosity, a bit of familiarity, and all that. Now, I would go more on that when I talk about subject line, right? Curiosity, I said subject line should have curiosity plus benefits, drama, gossip, bad news, story, intrigue, humor, and the likes. We'll get to that in a bit. But first, let's go to these ones you have dropped for me now, right? Let's go to this one you have dropped for me now. Why the answer will always be no? Why the answer would always be no? Sorry, I'm coming. Why the answer was be no? Okay, so I said I love this one was the secret is that there's no secret. So why the answer will always be no? The first thing I would write was, most times people ask me this question, and every time they ask me the question, I keep telling them the exact same thing. And the exact same thing is that is no. Is the exact same thing is no. No. And that's the truth. The answer is no. There is no secret. No, there's no secret. Because the truth is that the secret is that there's no secret. The secret to wealth, the secret to prosperity, the secret to making a success out of your life is that there's no secret. You just need to know, you just need to remind yourself of what you've already known. If I told you you need to work harder, you already know that. If I told you you need to focus, you already know that. If I told you need to invest, you already know that. If I told you you need to, increase in every sphere, you already know that. But what you do not do is take action, right? You know all the things that I would probably tell you now. So I do not have any intention to aspire to perspire with you. And then I put LOL there. But what I can tell you is that you should go back to the things you've learned before, all the things you've known over time. And then by the time you write them out and you listen to an inspirational speaker or listen to a motivational speaker or listen to anybody come to make a speech, you realize that all the things they are saying are things you've already listened to because you know them. So the truth is that the secret is that there's no secret. And in all honesty too, you also know that when it comes to real estate, the secret to making 5,000% ROI is that there's no secret. For instance, now you've heard that somebody bought land in Magodo 20 years ago, and today that same land he bought for 1,000 naira is 100 million naira. How do I tell you that the secret is buying land in Magodo when somebody else also bought the same land, Banana Island, and had the same ROI? So the secret really is that there's no secret. You can make money on real estate if you invest right now in places like Ekpe, in places like Ibejuleki, because you already know. That's no secret, right? So so that's it. I just basically just brought that out of my head, right? Now, if I'm going to write an email, it's going to be much better. But do you see what I did there? I basically made sure that I was still around the same topic and still finding a way to take it back into real estate without the buyer knowing that I'm taking it back to real estate. And at the same time, so I'm making the buyer learn. First thing first, I'm making the buyer learn. Making the buyer realize that everything he has known over time is something he can always get back to and make a success of his life. And that same thing also applies to real estate too. Okay, now I'm going to use one of these to write an email. You won't believe this. Okay, now, if I say that I love you to the moon and back, you won't believe it. And I know, you don't know me from Adam. You've just read my emails. You've been reading my emails for 10 years. You've read my emails for 20 years. So if I actually come out and say I love you to the moon and back, I know you won't believe it because, well, I've not died for you. Well, I've not done anything for you. I've not given my life for you. And I've not done so many things that somebody who loves you should do for you, right? So if I tell you that I love you to the moon and back, it's okay if you do not believe me. It's the same way too. If I tell you that every real estate you buy will make you money, you shouldn't believe that, because of the truth, it is not true, right? If I tell you that I love you to the moon and back, you know it's not true, because you are not my wife, because you are not my son, because you know you are not my daughter, but you know I love you, sha, LOL, or put a quote there or something. Then I say that. But if I tell you that every real estate you buy, and if I tell you that every real estate will buy will make you money, you also know that's not true. Just the same way you know that if I tell you that I love you to the moon and back, is not true. But what I can tell you is that there are specific real estate properties that you can buy today and they will make you a lot of money. Forget that girl telling you she loves you to the moon and back. Forget that man telling you she loves you to the moon and back. Focus on me. You and I, let's talk. Now, there's a property here in Ibejuleki. Mr. X, one of my clients, bought it 15 years ago for 5M, and that same property is worth 50M today. And something is looking like Ibejuleki right now. It is not Banana Island, because Banana Island would be for 500M for a land, and you can't sell it for 500 billion. Forget it. It is not Aja. It is not Ikoyi, but it is Ekpe. In Ekpe, you have XYZ, XYZ, and you begin to mention those things, right? So that exactly works for that. Now, where's the third one? Do you remember? Now, do you remember it's already an email in its own. So do you remember? Now, here, you say, I don't know. Now, let's write this email, okay? Let's write this email and see what I can do in 3 minutes. I don't know if you heard the story. Now, one of the best ways to write emails is write story emails. But it happened. It really did. It really did. 20 years ago. Okay. It really did. If you didn't hear the story, if you didn't hear the story, well, I'll tell you now. I will tell you now. But if you heard it, awesome. I will remind you. But even I will remind you, it's the story of that worry boy. Do you remember? Oh, you say you don't. Oh, you say you don't. Then let's get to it right away. Let's get to it right away. Then let's get to it right away. So this worry boy spent 13 years in Europe. He spent 13 years pushing trucks in Europe. And he kept sending money to his younger sister to build him a house. Oh, you remember now? Good. His sister embezzled all the money. She chop am. She chop am clean mouth. One grain of sand like this, he did not buy for her brother. I remember seeing that video. Her brother wanted to practically kill her. It was bad. I really got emotional. It was really terrible. And trust me, and Femi, let's just say, let me just put the contact. Femi. Let's just so contact, sorry, name should be name. And Femi, I don't want that kind of story for you. So when you are buying, when you're buying a property, whenever you're buying a property, it's good to involve family, no doubt. No doubt. But always ensure you talk, you buy from a company with some track record. If they don't have a track record, don't buy. Don't buy to avoid stories. That's it. Okay. Cheers. And have a good day. And by the way, if you want to buy, if you are thinking of a company you can trust, let me tell you about Russia's global. Yes, sir. Look to learn about Russia's global. Just like stay. Yes. Yeah. Okay, are we together? Awesome. So let's look at this email now. You see why do you know why the lines are short? It's because I want it to be easy for the reader to read. I don't want person to read and feel he's reading a whole lot. I could write all of these things in less than this length, but if it was less than this length, if you see these 4 paragraphs or 3 paragraphs, the person would feel like, oh, this is a lot, right? But you want ease of reading. So that is something you should always remember in your emails. Let there be ease of reading. Now, the title, do you remember? It drives a lot of curiosity. One person to feel, what is this thing, right? What's this thing? So I don't know if you heard the story, but it happened. It really did. If you didn't hear the story, well, I will tell you now. But if you heard it, awesome. I will remind you. I will also remind you. It's the story of that worry boy. Do you remember? Oh, you say you don't? Then let's get to it right away. So this worry boy spent 13 years in Europe. He spent 13 years pushing trucks in Europe, and he kept sending money to his younger sister to build him a house. Oh, you remember now? Good. His sister embezzled all the money. She chopped and claimed house. That's a bit of comedy here, right? So people want to laugh. One grain of sand like this, she did not buy for her brother. I remember seeing that video. Her brother wanted to practically kill her. It was bad. I really got emotional. It was terrible, right? You need to impute emotion into, right? Sadness, laughter, those are emotions. It was bad. I really got emotional. It was terrible. And John, I don't want that kind of story for you. Whenever you are buying, it's good to involve family, no doubt, but always ensure you buy from a company with some track record. If they don't have a track record, don't buy. Don't buy to avoid stories that touch. Okay, cheers, and have a good day. Okay, cheers. Okay, cheers. Let me put it like this. Okay, cheers. That's all I have for you today. Have a good day. Okay, cheers. That's all I have for you today. Have a good day. And by the way, if you are thinking of buying of a company you can trust, click here to learn more about. Click here. So I just put a link here, right? Let me just hyperlink this one. Let me just hyperlink it. So this is not how to link it on your email service providers or board. You know, I'm just doing an example here. Click here to learn about Gracious Global global pedigree. Or I could even that is click here to learn about a global Gracious Global pedigree. It's a company I really recommend. It's a company I highly recommend. Okay, now of course you could end your email, you will be ending your email with the property and all that, but we don't have much time. It's 7 to 8, and I don't want to use more than the time I allotted. So basically, this is the email. Now, the first thing in the email that they will learn something that there's a story there, and they learn something that they should shine their eyes whenever they are buying a property. And then I also help them by showing them a way, right? So those are the things you do in an email. Let there be something to gain. Let there be something to learn. Let there be something that they will go back home with and say, okay, well, I learned something from this email. Let there be entertainment, and then let there be something you are directing them to. So if somebody reads this kind of email, is entertained, right? He learned something, and he will look forward to your emails again. Okay, so yes, so that's exactly how you can pick an email idea from a movie, a TV program, a song, an event, from home, from YouTube, from tutorials, from comedy, from trends, from anything, right? So any other question as we round up now? Any question as we round up now? So tomorrow we'll get deep into subject line, educational story, right? Primal desires and all those things, right? Get into all of this and even more on this, right? So any other question as we round up? Any question? I have 1 minute to take a question. If there's any question, let me know. If you didn't get any, if you got anything from this class today, let me know. If you got any value from this class today, let me know. If you got the value, say yes. If you got the value, say yes. Okay, if you got value, say yes. Now, can ChatGPT write an email? Well, ChatGPT, can it write an email? Maybe it can, maybe it cannot. But the truth of the matter is that ChatGPT is not going to write an email for you. What ChatGPT will do for you is you do research. For instance, now, you want to write an email about pain points. You basically say, what are the top pain points a person who is buying real estate in Nigeria has, right? So right? Basically, for instance, now, this email now, the question I can't answer for you. ChatGPT cannot do many things for you. But what you can do is research. Basically, you are using ChatGPT for research, right? The pain point of many people who are old is that they didn't live a proper, they are still paying rent in old age, right? But if you didn't know that, you can do for research and say, and ask ChatGPT, what are the pain points of old people as regards Lagos, as regards real estate? And it can give you so many pain points, and you can write your email around that pain point. For instance, now, this is the email I told you about, the virgin story and all of those things. And after the end, at the end, I basically say things like, when you grow up, the question you won't be able to answer, when your children grow up, the question I can't answer for you is when they ask you, what were you doing when your mates are buying property, right? If you are doing your research on ChatGPT, and ChatGPT told you that the pain points of people when buying real estate, when not buying real estate, is that they are paying rent in old age. You can say that, you can come here and say that when you are older, the question your children will ask you is, Daddy, why are you still paying rent at 92? Why are you still paying rent at 74? Right? That's the question they will ask you, right? So is that pain point that you got from your research at GPT that you used to frame your email, okay? So every part of your email, you can research it on ChatGPT, but ChatGPT will not write the email for you. It's you that will write the email based on the research you have done, right? So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Okay, great value, awesome, thank you. That people will love you more. Yeah, true. That's true. So that's another thing. You can write an email around this as well. You can just write. That might be when. What if you die? Or just write something curious like, what happens when people die? Right? What happens when people die? So nobody wants to read. He wants to talk about death and all of those things. Well, could write something like that too, right? Or what with your children, how to make them happy, how to make your children happy, right? That's something. How to make your children love you, that's another thing, right? So that's another task, right? When I die, will when I die, people will love me more. So how to make your children happy, you could write that. Everybody wants to make their children happy, they read it, and then you talk about the fact that a certain man, when he died, Palade Farasin's great grandfather, when he died, Palade Farasin was always singing his praise, because the man bought land at so place when the land was cheap, selling for cheap. And today, Palade Farasin has a plot there and others. Today, Palade Farasin is singing the praises of his great grandfather. What will people say about you when you die too? They've told you about property in XYZ, you've not bought it. Property in ABC, you've not bought it. What will people say about you when you die? Things like that, right? But if you could buy this and this and this, when you die, people will love you more. I just find a way to write it. So yeah, that's it. Tomorrow we'll dive in more. Okay. So cheers. You can always get the recording of this class, right? Okay. All right. So that's all I have for you today. Cheers.